Hey guys, today I'll be showing you how to install a vanity light in the bathroom. We do have vanity, I'll show you. It's a 30 inch, and basically our standard, the way we do it is if it's an 8-foot ceiling, we go from the floor up 80 inches. If it's 9-foot ceiling, we do 84 inches from floor up to the middle of the box. Typically, when we rough in a house, we just leave a wire in the wall, and if it's a single sink, we kind of know approximately, what size it's gonna be. So if it's like 18 inch, we put, 36-inch vanity, we run a wire, and we pretty much go straight across, and have a little loop like this. So if the customer changed their mind and they want to put like a different size vanity, they have the option. And always, they think they are gonna have one size vanity, and next thing you know, it's off center. Like this vanity, it's not directly against the wall. So if we would put the box in during the rough in, it would be in the wrong spot. So basically, I'll show you how we go about it. Basically, all right, so basically I use a tape measure. I go from the wall to the center of the faucet. It shows 17 inches. Now I'm gonna transfer that 17 inches to the top where the box gonna go. All right, I'm not an expert. All right, so I usually just use a pencil. So 17 inches would be here, and then we go from the floor up. This is 9-foot ceiling, so we're going 84. So 84 is right here. So from this backsplash to the top of the, it's gonna be 46 inches. So 46 is right here. So that's gonna be, sometimes I go to the bottom of the box, 84, sometimes I go to the top. I guess it all depends. Either or, it should be plenty of space for the mirror and plenty of space for them to adjust it if they have to adjust the mirror. So 17, let's just double check. 17, and then 84 is right here. I have a little dot. So 84, so it's 46 to the bottom. I'll just go to the bottom this time. Yep. All right. So now sometimes we don't know what's behind it. It could be a stud there, a pipe there. So the best thing to do is take a box. I'm gonna take a pancake box, in case if there's gonna be a stud behind it, and an old work box. If there is nothing behind, I'm just gonna put old work box with the little wings. So I used to cut the hole with the hole saw. Now I just use a drill and a 4-inch hole saw. Hole. What do you call it? Basically a drill bit, whatever. Hole saw. Yeah, hole saw is the attachment to the drill. Key saw is basically the one that you manually use. All right. So I'm gonna mark, this is exactly 4 inches. I'm gonna mark it where it's supposed to go. And just an example, I usually don't really circle it. That's just for demonstration purposes. If you don't have the drill, you would just circle. Then what I do, I use a skinny screwdriver. And I just poke in the middle to see if there's stud. So there is stud right here. Yep. So we're gonna have to use a pancake. Let me just double check, make sure there is no pipe, because it's possible there might be pipe, you know. And if there's pipe in your drill, you're gonna be screwed. So 4-inch hole, drilling straight in the middle. Alright, looks pretty good. Here's the key saw, that's what it looks like. It's just a manual one, so you can kind of do this. It takes a little bit longer time. Now I'm gonna show you what it looks like inside. Good. So if you look, there's wire already. So perfect. I just gotta clean this up, the glue. So it's gonna be flash. And I'll show you how to install box. So I usually just use a flathead screwdriver, and I try to clean it up, because if not, the box is gonna be kind of sticking out. Not really bad, sometimes it might be okay. So with the pancake, you gotta remove one of these knockouts. I usually knock it out, not the middle, because a lot of them fixtures, the wire is going to be on the way. I mean, you can still do it, but it's just tougher to do it. So I'm gonna knock out a hole in one of these. I usually use where's the I'm looking for side cutters, diagonal cutters. So I go like this, boom, and then just twist. And then I put here, I'll just put one of these button connectors for an M cable, non-metallic cable. Now I gotta find two drywall screws or some kind of screws to hold the box in. So I have two screws like this. I mean, you can use any screws actually to hold it. Hold the box, not the light fixture. I'm looking for another screw. But when you're gonna be installing box, you gotta make sure you're not gonna drill through the wire. So you gotta keep in mind. Alright, so basically you just poke the wire through an M cable like this, and then you drive the screws in like this. Perfect, pretty flat. Alright, now take the insulation off. I use these Klein insulation removal tool. Boom. Now You gotta make sure you use a ground screw. You don't put ground wire under just the regular screw. That's a code violation. That's what the ground screw looks like. Sorry for the lighting. It's pretty poor lighting in here. So I put it in a designated hole for the ground. Alright. Okay. That looks pretty good. Just okay, I'm gonna strip the hot and the neutral, prepare, and now I gotta prepare the light. So that's gonna be the light like this, 3-bulb one, and these things, they're gonna hold the glass part. That's gonna be looking down. That's what shows in the instruction, because some of them they go upside down. I mean, I had multiple times where a customer wanted the other way around. Installed these hardware installation kits. So the pancake already has the screws, so I'm gonna remove them. They're typically shorter than regular screws, so they don't bottom out. Now this box, the hardware piece, it also has a ground screw. So we gotta put the ground wire under the ground screw on the bracket too. Even though it's bonded, but I always practice to put a ground wire anyway. That's just the way I typically like to do. Yeah, this quality of this video is gonna be pretty bad just because the light is there is no electric in the house yet, and I should have probably grabbed the flashlight, but you know what, trying to get this done and be done, you know. This is my third house today, doing some cleanups before the inspection. Everybody's trying to hurry up, and I like to get it done too. Alright, so cut the wires out of the way. Hopefully the screws in the bracket not gonna be too long, because sometimes we gotta shorten them. Man, I think the threads are messed up on this one. The bottom screw. I don't know, we might have to cut the screws shorter. Well, good, I'll show you how to do it. I really don't want it to do it. These screws are way too long. So every stripper that I ever owned, usually they have holes right here. One hole is for 6/32 screws, which is skinnier, and the other one's for 8/30 seconds. So I guess we're gonna have to take the bracket off, and I'll show you how it's done. Actually, hold on. Yeah, we might have to cut it. Yeah, don't really like to do it. I mean, it's good for demonstration purposes. I try to be careful not to scratch the wall too much, but sometimes it happens. There is gonna be a mirror right underneath. Alright, so basically what we have here, these screws right here, they're too long. So strippers, I'll show you, they have two holes. This one is the bigger one, the 8/30 seconds. That's where we gotta screw it in. Yeah, gotta take the knots off and then take the screws out, these ones. So we have two options. In this option we could cut the back of it, but for demonstration purposes I'll show you how to. That basically, if you want to cut the bottom, because if it bottoms out and hits the bracket, you can just cut this piece. But sometimes you don't have the option because this is flat and it's just that there's no room. So you definitely gotta run the screw in the hole. You gotta press the you gotta align the two holes, the threaded piece and then non-threaded. You gotta make sure it goes nice and smooth. Don't cut it too short. If you cut it too short, then you're gonna have other problems. So cut it and take it out, and it should be pretty flat, even cut. You don't want to cut the thread with regular cutters, because if you will, you're gonna mess up the thread, and it's gonna be a pain to put the nut on. So you don't want to create problems. You just want to get it done and be over with. I mean, that's the way I see it. Boom, you see it, there's the little tip. So that's how much we're gonna cut. Alright, hopefully it's not too much. It should be good. Okay, now we put the screws back in the hole. And run it in. Whew. Drop the screw. I thought it was gonna fall in the drain. That wouldn't be good. I would have to take the drain apart under the sink. That's not something I want to do today. Alright, so this is gonna be straight up and down the bracket, and we gotta put the ground screw back in. Wrap the ground wire around this ground screw. Alright, and hopefully it'll be good this time. Make sure you tack the wires away. Align the holes. Alright, that looks pretty good. And then you can put these nuts from the light fixture hardware kit. So now we gotta put the glass part on, and then we'll align it. Alright, the glass part, it came with the tool where you put the nut. So that's what the nut looks like. So you put it on top of the tool and you screw it in. Sometimes it doesn't come with the tool, you gotta do it by hand, but it's a lot easier with this thing. Boom, that's done. Really nice and simple. It all depends also on the light fixture. Sometimes the light fixtures, they come directly from, I mean all of them from China, but some worse than others. Like I noticed the light fixtures that people buy from Amazon, they have a lot more parts to it. I guess just because Amazon trying to save money on packaging, on the size of the package, and they often take longer to install than the typical one you buy from Home Depot or Lowe's. So I'm gonna save this thing. I have a couple at home. Now I just gotta put the light bulbs in. Pretty simple. Not much space to screw it in, just gotta take your time. And let me flip the camera. So this is the light, and I usually just put it. That looks pretty good, pretty level. That's it. Alright guys, I'm gonna show you how I usually mark out the, there's a vanity. I think it's a 60-inch. Let's just measure it for informational purposes. So it's a 61. So basically going back to my point is, if I would just measure, if they would have told me, you know, the cabinet is going to be 61 inches, 60 inches, and I would put the boxes on a profile, not considering that they're going to have a space right here. All the boxes, they would be off center, and plus all these things, they're a little different, because basically this sink is basically like what, 4 inches from the edge. Some things they're a little bit closer to the middle, and the way I like to put vanity lights is dead center on the sink, on the faucet. So what I do is I measure, so from this drywall, from the wall over is 15.5 inches. So I put that 15.5 inches up on the wall. So I already put a cross here. So it's 15.5 inches. Right here is the line. And 84 inches to the bottom or the center of the box. So there is my mark. That's where I'm gonna drill. Same thing here. The second faucet, I use a tape measure to go from the wall over to the middle of the faucet. So it's like 50 inches and 3/8. So I pretty much transfer the measurement over here. And I'll show you how I drill. I typically measure. Let me just flip the camera. So basically I'm gonna poke a hole in the drywall and feel for any obstructions. I feel there is a stud right here somewhere, or something. Gotta make sure I don't hit anything. So there's stuff right here. I gotta be careful. Same thing here. I feel for pipe. I feel for any obstruction. Make sure I don't hit anything. Alright, that was good. Now, I can go backwards. Yeah, there's a stud, the edge of it. I'll try to put the box without making damage. Same thing here. Alright, this was clear. And now my task is to find wire. Here's the one piece. Boom. And look for another loop right here. Boom. That's how you do it. I'll show you how I installed the old workbox. And that's pretty simple. I'll start with this one. Another trick is when you put a box in, these old work boxes, you want to start running the screw in and out, because if you don't, they don't want to go in easily. So you hold the wing with the 2 fingers and you run the screw in and back out just to start the thread, because they're not threaded. Alright, so it's ready. Usually I just poke a hole. Well, there's knockouts, so you bend them a little bit, because if you don't, you're going to be struggling to put the wire in the hole. Pull them in like this, then squeeze the wings. Squeeze the wings together and put it in. And now I just gotta secure the box with the wings. Boom. Don't over tighten it. Don't over tighten it. And that's as simple as it gets. You just take the jacket off. Same thing with the other one. And that's it. That's pretty long, detailed video. I guess you guys, hopefully you're gonna enjoy it. I mean, I wish, you know, when I started working as well, not electrical contractor, but I was a apprentice, I had these videos.